Hey crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts, and welcome back to another technique. We are making a 12 by 12 box today. So if you have double-sided pattern paper or double-sided cardstock like I'm using today, either one will work just fine, but if you use the cardstock, it might be just a little bit trickier to do. And I've literally only made this box 2 different times. Now, I'm going to let you know that we are doing this live, so if you want to join in on any time that we're live, it's going to be happening on Thursday evenings and Sunday afternoons, and I'm throwing around the idea of possibly changing those times now that I'm back into full-time work for the school district. So I might be bumping those up a little bit earlier in the evening and then a little bit earlier on Sunday morning, just so that I have like the rest of the day and the rest of the evening after I'm done doing my videos to get prepped for the next day and that kind of a thing, because otherwise it's kind of like plop right in the middle of my evening, and I'm realizing that that is probably not the best solution for me. And I want to be able to continue to do this so that I don't have to cut out certain nights or certain days, because I think it's really important to have an ongoing community presence here. So we're going to make these boxes. I've got 2 of them right here. This one was just a simple belly band with a piece of pattern paper directly from the same paper. And what else did I want to mention to you guys? Oh, okay. So here's the deal. If you're watching live right now and you look in the description box and you're like, well, okay, the description box all wrong. You don't have the links to the products that you're talking about. No, I do not. But if you're watching this archived, this will already been addressed, so they're probably already there. But just in case you're watching this live and you're like, I really want those links, I will link them immediately after I'm done with this. The reason why they're not in there is because I've been messing around with my Parblo tablet. It's still not working. And when I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, well, I need to bring up stuff and get ready for the live, it had reset a whole bunch of stuff on my live. So my face camera was no longer attached to it, so I had to reset up all that, and so I just ran out of time. But I have them all set and ready to go. So as soon as I'm done with this, I will plop them in there and we'll be ready to go. So no worries. This is the paper that I'm using today. It's called Watercolor Garden from DCWV. And there's a bunch of sheets in here. It says 12 sheets with gold foil, and they're fantastic. Here's are all the colors and prints. We're using, let's see, I don't even know what one you're using today, because I just did this one to make sure that I knew what I was doing. But I'm going to tell you what, I may have to open this up and look at it again and try to figure it out, and I may stumble, because these are the 2 only boxes I've ever made. But I really believe this is a little bit more advanced of a technique, but not impossible. And I want you to know that I struggle with these things too. So if I have to open one back up to check it out to make sure that I'm doing the right folds, I will definitely do that, and you can follow along with me. But guaranteed by the end of this video, we will have a couple made. Now, if you use double-sided paper of any kind, it will be the best turnout that it can be, because once you pull off this belly band, you're going to see the inside of that box. So you're going to want all this prettiness in here. Now, I did not glue my box together, which means if I just pull this, it's all going to come apart, okay? But you can glue these, the insides of these, so that they're there. They will stay like that, and that your box will never come apart. I just chose not to. The belly band holds it together pretty nicely, and I guess if I do give it to somebody, I may glue it shut. I don't know. You can if you want. I'm just throwing that out there. So, hey, John Prince, I have not tried Twitch, and the reason being is that I know one other person that's on Twitch, and I watched people on Twitch, and I just didn't feel like you get anything out of it. Like, YouTube is my go-to place. I've got a community here, and I also get paid through AdSense, and I don't feel like putting a lot of time and effort into Twitch would get me anything back out of it as much. Now, if I'm wrong, or if there's new stuff going on, please do let me know, because I'm always trying to learn new stuff. Let me just go back up really quick, because I do like to, welcome the community. I know it's a little bit after. I'm running just a couple minutes late, and I know that you guys will forgive me for that. So hello to Tammy Valley and Fun Life on a Budget, Janine, Lisa, Satomi, Deanna, Krissa is here. Fun, let's see, I got that one. Carlene, Deborah, Donna, Julie, D, you made it. Satomi, Jane Brown, Rita, Wilma, so John Prince is here. Kimberly. Oh, and I know I missed a few. Carol Grove, I'm just trying to get all the way back down to the bottom so that I can kind of keep an eye on that. I need to cut off this little piece right here because you definitely need a piece that is exactly 12 by 12 for this to work. And if you've got a pad of paper that's glued in and it has this little strip right here, that means you have to cut this off before you begin. Now, one other piece of paper that you're going to need, aside from whatever you decorate your belly band with, is the actual belly band. And mine is 12 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. That will make one like this one. And it doesn't come together on the top directly like this. So if I put this around, let me just pull this one off. The belly band that I'm making will not meet in the middle. So watch this. Okay, there's going to be a little space here, which is why I chose to pick this longer piece, or you could put a little square piece or a circle piece. Just know that if you want yours to come together in the middle, it's going to have to be longer than 12 inches. And I wanted to, you know, take the most advantage of my 12 by 12 paper and not have to glue things to piece things together, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to use this one and put something in the middle, and I'm probably going to pick it from this paper pack. And we're just going to get going and get rolling because I know people are like, oh, but you said you would start at 5 after. Yes, I will. So this paper pad comes with tags here. And then, where's the other tag? These, I really like these. This is where I got this one from. This one says grow. And they're all, you know, made to match this paper pad, which is why I love getting paper pads that all matchy-matchy. It's amazing. So 12 by 12 sheet, and I'm going to walk you through this. Now, if you miss it, I can double and triple voice it over for you guys. If you want them afterwards, you can find them on the blog. I will put a blog post up after I'm done here. It takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to put that up, so give me a little bit of time to get that rolling, and then you can get the measurements right from there, and you don't have to go back and rewatch it. But if you're the type of person who's a beginner, or you need that extra visual, come back to the video, pause, rewind until you get it. Because there's two tricky things about this that I might even flub up on, being that this is only my 3rd time making it, that I want you to be able to get. And believe me, it's not impossible. My very first one, I thought, I'm never going to get this. And I'm the one teaching, right? So that just proves that sometimes you just need more than one try. Don't give up. Now, if you use patterned paper, it's going to be a lot more giving and you won't get that paper tear and stuff when you bend it. But I'm using this cardstock that's got that foil on it, so guess what happened when I bent mine? Mine got a little tear in it right here. Not too concerned. I could probably always glue that down if that's not a part that's going to be affected. No, it's the outside. So I could glue that down, put a little bit of glue in there, but whatever, you know, it's a handmade thing. And I know the people that I give stuff to are not going to nitpick that kind of stuff. So let's get going with this. You can do this if you're an absolute noob and all you have is a stylus or a bone folder and a trimmer or a ruler to do the scoring. But I'm going to use my scoreboard because for time's sake, that's going to be a lot quicker for me. So we're going to do some scoring on this side, and then we're going to turn it. We're going to do some scoring on this side, and then we're going to continue on with the folding and stuff. And hopefully things will go smooth, and I won't have to go back and like unravel one of my boxes, but if need be, I have one on hand. So let's get started. I hope you guys, after all my blathering there, blah, 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 you got all your stuff ready and you're raring to go. So first score is at 1.5. Next one's at 3. 3 3/4. 8 1/4. 9 inches. 10.5. I'm going to go through that again. This is always in inches. 1.5. 3. 3 3/4. 8 1/4. 9. 10.5. I think, besides having my face in that portion up there, you should be able to see most of this. Turn it 90 degrees, and then we're going to do our next scores. We're going to score it at 3, 4.5, 7.5, and 9. Let's go over that one more time. 3 inches, 4.5, 7.5, and 9. Hopefully I can go out just one more little click here. There we go. We even got 2. So that's as far as out as my camera can go. And now we're going to start doing some folding. We're going to take the side. At this point, it doesn't really matter. But when we start folding, we'll probably usually have this, the wider side facing us. There's like a side here. If you look at the folds, from here to here is a little bit thinner than from here to here. So this is usually going to be our bottom part. But before we get started, what will make this 10 times easier is if we burnish every single one of these fold lines. Now, if you're using cardstock like mine, you're going to realize that when you do that, you get this part, the paper starts like ripping up. I don't know how to make you be able to see that. Anyway, I don't think it affects the project, but if you're really picky about that kind of stuff, that might bug you. So just bend over your cardstock at every single fold line that we made, every single score mark, and make sure that you burnish it. You can use your finger, you can use a bone folder like I'm doing, and just get every single one of them. Because having good folds is just going to make this project a lot easier to put together. So if you haven't checked out the Frightful Fall release, the new fall digis, go ahead and do that. That's at qualitycrafts.com. Click the store in the upper right hand corner, and then click in the categories on Frightful Fall digis. They're super cute. Alright, I think I got every single line. First thing we're going to do is fold in all 4 of the corners. I have no idea how you would avoid that other than, who asked me that? Sandia? Sandia. I hope, I'm probably saying your name wrong, but Sandia Iva, if you don't want to get that funky fold, that little like torn kind of edge, use a lighter double-sided pattern paper. This is a heavy cardstock, which is, I think, why it's doing that. And other cardstocks will do that as well. So if you're concerned about having that rough look and you don't like it, try to use a thinner pattern paper and don't press real hard with your bone folder when you do it. Because pattern paper, I've never really seen it do that. But the heavier cardstocks and stuff that have extras, you know, all this extra printing and stuff tends to break. And it's breaking on this side rather than on the pattern paper side. So that's my only advice. So we're going to fold in all the corners. Hi Ashley, no problem if you're late. I'm just going to put in here real quick. This is what we're doing today, in case you're wondering. And I'll see if I can't get me down, back down to the, there we are. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you get a little bit of that funky corner, like I said on this one, I got a whole little torn little edge right here. I'm not going to worry about that because it's still givable. It's a handmade thing. Nobody's going to look at you and go, well, that's terrible. You know what I mean? Put a little bit of wet glue in there and then hold it and glue it down if you're really that concerned. But seriously, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Handmade things just have sometimes issues of that. If you guys have, anybody else that's watching, if you have Any more advice? Feel free to speak up. I can only speak to what I know. So we're going to go ahead and do all 4 corners. And when we fold these corners in, we want to go all the way up into this score line right here. Okay, we're not, so we've got like a larger one, a skinny one, a larger one. We're not going past this larger one, like this center. This is the center. We're going to go up to that one right there. Follow this line here. Don't go past this center one. Okay, so second score line in, and go ahead and fold that up. Now this is the part where I'm going, okay, I better make darn sure that that's exactly where my fold should be. And I'm looking at how big that is compared, and it definitely is the right way. So 2 folds in. Just want to make sure that I'm not steering you wrong. We're going to do all 4 corners that way. Okay, should end up with something like that. Oh, I like that idea. Roberta's Artistic Adventure says, lightly spritz the paper with water first and then gently score. Thank you. Another tip she gave, if torn, place some washi tape over the inside. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold these so that they go to the middle. So like this one would go up to the middle, and this one would come up to the middle, and they would match. It's going to get tricky from here on out, so pay attention, because I'll probably make a million mistakes. So watch the whole thing first and avoid everything I do wrong. And I very rarely say that, but I really do believe that this one is a little bit trickier of a project. If I would have had more time, I would have made more boxes, so I'd have been more prepped, but I'm back to school full time, so we're fitting in what we can. All right? And then you fold these out. Make sure I'm on the right side. We want to be on the wider side. This is the wider side. Okay. So those are the 2 that fold in, right? And I got to fold, here are my directions. They met in the middle. Met in the middle. Dun, dun, dun. 4.5. See, I'm doing on the wrong side. Let's double check. Okay. We're gonna turn this and do it the opposite way, because we need the sides that have more score lines. So this one is an open box and open box. This one has 1, 2, 3 scores, and this one has 1, 2, 3 scores. The one that has the multiple score lines, that's the one that we're folding in towards the middle. My apologies, I did that one wrong. So fold them both in so that they meet in the middle. And that means that we're folding on the first, second score line in, and from the top, the first, second score line in. Just so they meet in the middle. That's how you know you did the right one. First, second, first, second. I'm making sure that everything's laying down right. All right. Yeah? All right. Then it says, fold back halfway to the corner. Okay, we're going to fold this back. This is the trickiest part. We have to open up that side. We have to open these little guys up so that we can make this. Okay, after we get those, we did that just to make sure our folds were set. Now we're going to take these corners right here, these 2 triangles, and we're going to stick our fingers in there, and we're going to push those flat so that we make a little square right here. Okay, same thing on the other side. Push that little triangle up and then push it down so that it makes it flat. So that now we have a big rectangle here. I know. I'm fumbling through this along with you, but we're going to get there, trust me. So we're going to do the same on the other side. We need to push this little triangle in so that comes over and then it lays down flat so we make a little square here. And then the same on the other side. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to fold these back in on top of themselves. Make sure everything creases right. All right, then the next one is fold them back to the center. Okay, so now that we've got these two little like box parts right here that we did with the corners, now we're going to fold them back towards the middle. Mine did not fold on that line. There we go. So it should look like that. Here's what happened is that this part winged out. You have to make sure that these fold on this fold line when you're folding it over. And mine didn't fold, so I just went back underneath, tucked it in, and made sure that everything folded down smoothly. Okay? And then we're going to lift these guys up right here. Because these are going to be the walls to our boxes right here, these two. Okay, so we're folding them back in so that there's a little side on either side like this. Now here is what was supposed to be the super duper tricky part, but okay, so there's these little triangles that we originally made with those squares. We still have these little flappy triangles here on either side. I want you to notice those because this is what we're going to use to flatten this out. So when that flattens down, well, I'm tucked underneath there. When that flattens down, then, oh darn, let me double check. So this one's a lot looser because I've done it a couple of times. So when this flaps down, okay, that part should come up. So we're gonna flip those down and push those down so that they meet together and then push it straight up like that. Okay, these little guys are gonna get pushed out and then we're gonna flatten them down together and then we're gonna push this part down. And I'm going to show you on here. All right. So push those two triangles out until they meet down together and then bring the whole box up and flatten these out. Okay. Yeah, this was the tricky part for me too. I was like, say what? But I think this is a lot easier. So let's try it on the other side. So you see the flaps that come up. These are the little triangles we originally had. We're going to push those triangles out and flatten them down together. And then bring the bottom of the box up on that line and flatten those out. So that when you lift up each side now, they should come together. Okay, and then one side's going to come down and the other side's going to come down and you have your box. All right, and then we have the belly band. We'll make a belly band. So here was my original one that I did. All right, so let's do it one more time because we got plenty of time. The more you make them, the better it gets. You know what? Let me use a piece of pattern paper this time. A thinner paper so you guys can see the difference. I'm going to use that one. Okay, so the big difference for me is going to be that I don't have double-sided, so I'm just going to pick a pretty pattern. This one's pretty. And I better double check with my scoreboard that this is 12 by 12 so we don't end up with a mess. 12 by 12. Okay. Let's do this again. And they come together and they're such a sturdy little box and you put a bunch of little stuff in there like chocolates or even jewelry or whatever you want to put in there and it's just, I just think it's totally cool. So I believe the way we did it, that whatever pattern we have on top will be on the outside. So that's going to be the most important for me on this one. So let's go ahead and score again. We got 1.5. So if you're just joining in now, we're redoing the entire box from beginning, 12 by 12 paper, and we're scoring at 1.5, 3, 3 3/4, 8 1/4, 9, and 10.5. Okay, and then should I go over those again? 1.5, 3, 3 3/4, 8 1/4, 9, 10.5. And then turn it 90 degrees, and we're going to do this one at 3. Like I said, I'm going to have all these directions written down on my blog if you're looking for this later on. 4.5, 7.5, and 9. Let's go over those one more time. 3, 4.5, 7.5, and 9. All right. That should be it for that. And then it's the same as we did on the other one. We're going to go ahead and make sure we burnish all those score lines. See, now that I'm using a softer, just a light pattern paper, I'm not getting that ripping on the edges. Hi, Liney. Hi, baby. He just likes to say hi. I think he's getting senile. He forgets he ate, he forgets everything, and just wants to be noticed all the time. So are any of you guys in the education field that went back to school with me this fall? Just curious. What is the blog challenge? Are you meaning like what's the theme for the month? Because I'm totally brain dead. The challenge over at the blog is just, it's usually you can make any kind of project you want as long as you follow the theme of that month. And then you can maybe win some digis. So I'm just making sure that we do this right. We're going to fold up all 4 corners. Can you see all the, okay. Dun, dun, dun. So we're going to take this corner, we're going to take the smaller, if you can see, this is the smaller one versus this one is bigger. It's hard to see on that side because it's all white, I know. But we're going to take the corners and we're going to bring them up. Let me just make sure I do this right. Yep. We just want to make sure the corners are big enough because otherwise it won't work out. So where you've got the smaller rectangle here, this is where we're lifting the corners up from. And we're going up to the first, second score line here. So the same on this side. Pay attention to where we're doing these triangles when you do yours, because I did my triangles wrong a whole bunch of times. Just want to make sure that if you're getting teeny tiny triangles like this, just know that you didn't do the right one. You have to make sure that you're going up 1, 2 score lines this way and getting really big triangles. I guess that's the only way I can really say it to help you guys remember that, because that's going to help me next time I do mine. So now we're going to work from the side that has the more score lines. So this side coming in has 1, 2, but these sides coming up have 1, 2, 3. So you want to be on the 3 score line one. And if you go up 2 score lines and fold on both sides, they should meet in the middle. 1, 2, and fold. Okay, they meet in the middle. And then fold these out. I'm just making sure everything's folded out, okay? Then open them up. Now we're going to make we're going to make the little rectangles. So you're going to take this side and you're going to scoot your finger into this little triangle here and push it down flat to make a square right here. Same on this side. Push in this little triangle here and then push that one down flat so it makes a square. So eventually you'll end up with this kind of a little configuration and you'll have a long rectangle here and everything will be flat. And then turn it around, we're going to do the same thing on this side. Push your finger into that little triangle and push it forward to make a little square. And then the side, push it forward. And then the other one will come with it. Make sure everything goes flat. You should have a long rectangle right here that, you know, opens up like that. This is going to become your wall. Okay, so now we're going to fold it on the next one, the next fold line that you can see. We're going to fold that all the way in. Make sure everything lays down flat. Working in the Department of Education counts? Sure, why not? If you had the summer off. Did you have the summer off? Okay, so we folded those both in and everything lays flat. If something's not laying flat, then bring it up and double check that everything's folded in on the fold lines and that it's all going down, because that's going to make a big difference in your box. I would have preferred to keep doing this with you guys instead of going back to work, but I can't complain. I got a great schedule. I go in at 7:15. I'm done at 2:45. It's pretty awesome. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining me. Got such a dry mouth. Now we're just going to back up one fold line here. See how we've got this lip here? We're just going to fold that up because that's going to be the side of our wall. No summer's off. And then we're going to fold this one back here so that there's an edge here. So these are going to be the edges of our boxes here. Okay, so now we're going to turn this sideways and we're going to create the other walls. And remember these little guys right here that come out here, these little flaps? We're going to push those out and push that down so that they meet each other. And then bring the whole box up at the same time and give that a good squash so that everything comes together. Okay, when I saw somebody make this, they did this one at a time and I got really confused. I think this is much easier. To grab it on one side, push these little guys in with your thumbs, push them down so that they meet together right here, you know, smash them down, and then while those are down, then bring up the bottom of the box so that it all comes together. If all your score lines are made correctly, that should just pop right up. And then it should, you know, just kind of stay where it should be. And then all you have to do is just fold down the top and then fold down the other one. You've got your box. That one went a lot smoother, didn't it? I'm starting to get the hang of it. I love that it's got these little, like, indents here. I don't know, it's just really cool. All right. Oh, a custodian, and in the summer it's 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. Oh gosh, school year 2 p.m. to midnight. Egads. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up the belly band then. I think this one will work just because I think this color will match still. So let's just go ahead and keep that one. But let's pull out a different tag. Like which one of these, I'm not going to find a way to get this all in here. Which one of these tags would look good with that one? Dun, 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 dun. I like the thanks one because there's pink in here and there's pink in there. Let's go ahead for the thanks. Don't give up, Dee. You can do this. You can do it. It took me a couple of times. I even floundered on the first one right here in live with you guys. sometimes you just, you know, you got to do it a couple of times to make, until the muscle memory works and you finally go, oh yeah, this is a much easier way to do it. Because that second time was so much easier. Now I've got 4 boxes. I got to start handing stuff out. Because I still got 6 purses. Remember the purse? I made that bad boy 6 times. Don't give up, you guys. All you got to do is try one more time. And if it doesn't work out, just try one more time. This one's really long, but I don't mind. I'm going to make it go on this one. So you can go ahead and find the points and make scores. I don't bother with that. I just put this about as close to center as I can get. I bring it up and make a little crease about where I think it's going to go. Same on this side. Oh, look, this one came together. Woo! Oh, I squashed my box, that's why. Don't squash your box. This one's made out of a lot lighter paper. I gotta be gentle. I made all my other ones out of a heavy cardstock. That makes a big difference. Yeah, I gotta watch what I'm doing here so I don't squish that part of the box. Give it a little bit more. There we go. Give it a little room. This side is a little tight too. Let's go ahead and give it a little 1/4 inch. Play around with it. And if you do use cardstock, you won't have to finagle this as much. I just don't want it to be so tight that it squishes the bejeebies out of my box. I'm going to give that one just one more pinch. And then the 2 pieces that are wrapping around to the top, this is where you're going to put your tape. So I just flip mine over. And throw some tape on here. I'm using double-sided sticky tape because I don't want my belly band to fall apart in transit or after the person has gotten it and they're trying to haul their candy around. I'm a big candy-aholic. I don't know if you can tell. I'm addicted to sugar and Diet Mountain Dew, so I would put candy in mine because that's how I roll. Or, you know, hey, if it's the middle of the winter and you know people in the school district that have to go outside, and I know some school districts provide this, but some don't. Put some little those hand warmers in the middle of winter in there for those teachers. Or cough drops. Or Vaseline, you know that Vaseline lip stuff that you can get in the middle of winter? Throw one of those in there. I mean, teachers really appreciate practical things. At least I know I do. I'm not a teacher, but I'm darn close. Okay, and then I'm going to bring these up to the top and line them up best I can so they're not all too crookedy. And then I'm going to put mine, and remember I told you this was too long, but it's okay if it's too long. Line these up and then put this on about where it's supposed to go and then just push it down. And that holds the belly band together so that when you slide it off, then you can kind of burnish that in with your fingers so that it won't come apart. And then it should go back on. I think I did my other belly bands the short way, didn't I? Yeah, because this one I did the long way. Now I gotta make sure I can get this bad boy back on. There we go. So it's got to be loose enough to slide off, but it's got to be tight enough to hold everything together. That's the trick. But that looks pretty good. Still, it's a little bit squashed, but let's see. Then we can go back and make our folds a little bit tighter. That helps. There we go. That looks really cool. So this one went the long way. Did I make the other ones the short way? Let me just double check. Oh, this one I made the long way, just like the other one. Gosh, it's hard to see with that darn light. So one says thanks and one says grow. I did that one the long way. And then this other one that I did the short way around. Do you see what I'm saying? Like this, going up and down this way is shorter than going across this way. So if you do it the short way around and you have your 11.5 strip, it's going to go all the way around. So you decide how you want it to look. I do really like this one. This one's pretty fancy because I went ahead and used one of the tags from the paper line, and then I used some of the paper to create myself a bow. Now, I cheater pantsed on the bow because there's a ton, if you go to Google and type in bow template, there's a ton of templates out there that you can get to create a bow of your own. So I did not create this one. I did not make it up. I used a free template from online. And so you guys can do that too. Oh, and here's the other one we made. Ta-da! We've got about 15 minutes, so I can either go or, right, watch till you can make it, because that's what I had to do. I'd watch someone else make it until I fake it till you make it, people. Just one more try. See, I did one more try, and I didn't do too bad. So here's the deal. I want to know if you guys want to see me make one more box. Is there somebody out there that's struggling that could be like, you know what, Jen? By the second box, I was doing okay, but I'm still not getting that corner. So how many of you guys would like to see this done one more time? And I'm going to take a drink because I'm getting cotton mouth again. They are so cute, aren't they? Can you imagine? Somebody got one of these from you and you can tell them that you made it. I handmade that. And if you put like little teeny cards and envelopes inside that you made, that would be even cooler. Because they'd be like, wow, they'd be so impressed. Yes, a third box. Awesome. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one out of that light paper since I have that pack sitting here. I think that maybe for one of the next videos we should do little cards that fit right inside of it. How many got hands up? I can't see your hands. Do some little hearts or some little emojis and let me know. Yes, we would like to know how to make cards that fit inside that box. So yeah, this paper pack, this one doesn't have any tags in it, so we'll have to make our own tag. I'm just kind of futzing through like, what color do I want to do? Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Oh, my I spy pink. That's pretty. I'm just waiting. Oh, that's right. You guys answered me already, didn't you? I'm tired. Ooh. Just wait till the kids come. Good Lord, if I think I'm tired now. Sheesh. Alright. Okay, this one's going to move just a little bit quicker. Awesome. Okay, we'll do mini cards. Maybe, you guys want to do mini cards on Sunday right away? You guys going to be around for Sunday? Let me know. That would be a really cool idea. I love that. So 1.5. 3 3 3/4, 8 1/4, 9, yeah, 8 1/4, 9. Thought I was reading off the wrong list. 10.5. So I don't have these memorized. I got my cheat sheet just to the right of me. All right. Circle your paper 90 degrees and then do 3 inches. 4.5. 7.5. And 9. Again, I will put these on the blog. Oh, there's a little hole in this paper. I didn't put that hole there. Oh well, we probably won't notice it after it's all put together, right? Can you see the little tiny hole? Go ahead and fold on all your fold lines so that your box comes together smoothly later on. So I made a little bit of change to the Patreon page. Patreon is a platform where you guys can support artists like me to become, just because you love what I do and you want to fuel the passion. My passion on my channel is to reach everybody, beginner through advanced, with fun, interesting techniques that are easy enough for everyone to make so that you can feel successful in your art. I'm addicted to card making, so a lot of my stuff is geared towards card making, but it's, you know, I'll do other 3D and paper art things too. But on the Patreon platform, patreon.com/qualitycrafts, where you'll find my page specifically, I used to have a whole bunch of tiers on there, and each tier is supposed to come with a reward. And you know, I got to thinking, for stress and time's sake, and for your sake as well, for being a person that pledges to this type of a thing, I think you guys are all, in my heart, appreciated just as much. Whether you give $1 a month because that's what you can afford, or you give up to $25 a month. I changed it to just have one single tier. Now, people who pledge 15 and up will still be my VIPs, and they will probably get different stuff. But I also added into that tier, I got rid of the sneak peeks because I'm changing things around, and I'm going to start using my affiliate links to show you guys in advance a couple of weeks or a week or so that you can purchase supplies if you want to do the kind of projects I'm doing. I took that out and I replaced it with a 25% discount on everything in the store as long as you're a Patreon. So I know that there are people out there that might take advantage of that, you know, become a patron just to get the 25% off and drop off, but you know, so be it if that happens. What I'm looking for are people in the long term that really want to support the passion that happens here and that are going to stick around. And I want to reward that. The people that become, you know, the closest of the close of the Quality Crafts family. Now, my videos on here always have been, always are, and always will be free, as well as the Quality Crafts community on Facebook. So don't ever worry about that. You will not. I'm not changing my videos to be a subscriber-based video channel, okay? Don't worry about that. But if you do want to donate to the cause and support my channel, then Patreon is the best platform for you guys to do it. Because I have the most control over knowing who's a part of that and making sure that you get rewards that make it worth being a part of it. So now that we have everything all scored and burnished here, you can hear my neighbors. We're going to go ahead and fold the corners again. So we're going to take the side that's got more score lines than the other side down towards us, and we're going to fold our corners up this way to make sure that they're big. If you're folding and you're only getting a teeny tiny corner like this, you want to make sure to fold up to the next score line, 1, 2 up. That way your box will come together really nicely. And we're just going to do that on all 4 sides. So once you get the first one done, then the rest of them, the other 3, you can pretty much see, and it comes together pretty quickly. And then, in the beginning of the video, I was totally confused as to what side I was supposed to be working on, but not anymore! I got it worked out in the old brain. Alright. We are going to be working with the side that has more score lines. So this side has 2, but this side has 3. So put the one that has 3 towards you, and that's the one that we're going to go 1, 2 up and fold all the way to the center, make it flat. Same with the other side. 1, 2, fold on that second line. You'll know you did it right because they'll meet right in the middle here. Okay, flatten it out just like that. Pretty awesome, right? That's what it'll look like. Now we're going to back it up, open them back up again, because now we're going to use these little triangles here on either side to push our little finger into that triangle and then push it forward so that you can crease that down. And then take the other side and push that one forward and crease that one down. And that way they'll both come forward and you'll have a long rectangle right here. Okay, let's turn this around and do the other side. There's two triangles right here. We're just sticking our finger into that triangle and then pushing it forward so that we can crease that right there. And then open it back up to grab the other triangle and then push that one forward so you can give that one a crease. That way you'll create this rectangle right here. And everything should be flat. Okay. Then we're going to fold the next score line in, this whole thing in, and make sure everything goes real flat. And then the last score line in on this side. Fold that in so everything goes flat. And then you know you did it right because everything will be flat and they'll meet in the middle. Whew. All right. Now we're going to straighten these up. There's a score line right here. We're just going to straighten these up here. So we have a lip here because this is going to be our wall. Okay. Same on the other side. We're just going to bring this side up. We're going to leave this lip here so that that's going to be our two walls to our card. Okay. We're going to turn it sideways like this. Now here's the trick that I found that was easier for me. These little flaps right here, I'm going to push those out with my fingers, my thumbs, and I'm going to put them on the paper and push them forward so that they meet together. And then while that's going on, I'm going to lift the card up because there's a score line going right here. You're going to lift that score line up and then press this in. Just give them another press so that they stay there. That's it. Okay, and then flip it around to the other side because this one's got two little flaps here as well. Push those little flaps in so that they meet together. And while those are flattening there, there's a score line here. You're just going to push the whole rest of the box up and then go ahead and re-push down those. And then it should pretty much kind of stay that way so that you can see where the box is. And then all you're going to do is fold on that last score line on both sides and you have your box. Easy peasy, right? And then you can put all kinds of stuff in there. Now if you want to put glue on the inside here and glue that down so that your box stays a box when they open it up and doesn't fall apart on them. And you could even glue inside here and glue that together so that it all stands up so that the only part that'll be moving is this part right here. You can do that. Add glue wherever you want to add glue to make your box stay together. And then you make your belly band to go around the whole thing just like we have here. So we've got a belly band that goes this way. I actually really like the belly band going the short way instead. So if you make a belly band 12 inches by 1.5 inches, it's going to go all the way around. Yay, Donna! It worked. I like the way this one looks better. If you're looking for a bow like this, Google bow templates, B-O-W, templates on Google and they'll pop up. That's how I found that one. I was cheater pants. I didn't make that one up. And then you just make your belly band to go around that. So here's the 4 that we've done today. Oh, we did this one too. I love the gold foil. I think that's just gorgeous. That just adds a whole nother piece of class to it, doesn't it? Very, very stylish. I can't wait to hand these out. People are going to be like, what? You made that? No way! So here are the 3 that we have completely finished. Although I didn't glue them together, but you super can. So I'm just checking a little bit. So, with the last few minutes that we have, can you guys let me know if I change these evening times, instead of 6 p.m., if I moved them back to about 4 p.m., would that make it so that nobody could come to the live one? Not the real one. The live version versus the archived. I'm just going to give you a few minutes here because of the lag to let me know what you think of that. It's going to make it just a lot easier on me because then I could come home, get everything set up and do it, and then have the evening to just kind of zone out because during the school year, everything gets shut down for me at 8 p.m. I have to for sanity's sake. Right, Jessica? She said, this would be a great treat, a great gift for my 30 plus coworkers for Christmas with a little gift inside. Practically costs you nothing to buy a pad of paper these days. If you go when they have them on sale. Like Joann's just had paper packs, pads of paper. Was it just the white cardstock? Even the white cardstock would look cool because you could stamp your own design and that would be amazing. But they were like 6 for $10, so they were like less than $2 a piece for packs of paper, and I missed it. So I have enough paper, but there's always stuff that I'm looking for. Oh yes, Halloween style paper, Christmas style paper, you know, get white paper and stamp their name all over it. I know you guys are hoarding those ABC, those alphabet stamps that you never use. Pull those out. Pull out a long stamping block, you know, like, you know, line up the letters of their names and stamp that all over it. Wouldn't that be cool? They'd be like, wow, box with my name on it. That's awesome. It would be so, so cool. Okay, so some of you guys can't do it that early, some can, so on. That's always a frustration, right, of people like me, because we don't want to put people off, but at the same time, we kind of, I will give it some thought and I'll get back to you, but just to stay on target for this week, if I'm going to change Sunday, I will let you guys know in the Quality Crafts group. So if you're not already a part of that group, you're going to want to get in on that family, be a part of that community, because that's where I will drop all of the information first. Okay? Especially if I'm going to change anything. Because I don't want you guys like left hanging, and that's my go-to group. Okay? That's where the community hangs out. So when I'm done here from making these boxes, I will be putting up a blog with all of the measurements on it, so you can find that quickly. I will be going over into the Quality Crafts group right away and setting up an album, including a picture probably of this one, so that you can create what I've created tonight, because I've shown you how to do it and you can be successful. You can post in that album also, so that we can all be inspired by your work. And then you'll meet me again on Sundays, and then Thursdays, and then Wednesdays. If you missed Wednesday I open up an envelope, open up an envelope and dump out the contents, and then set a timer for 10 minutes and try to create a card. So today, let me just go back to, today we did how to make a gift box using one sheet of 12 by 12 pattern paper called the 12 by 12 box. There's a lot of different 12 by 12 projects. I did a 12 by 12, what did I do recently? The 12 by 12 what? Was it the purse? Yeah, the purse was 12 by 12. This was 12 by 12. There'll be one more coming up that's going to be another 12 by 12, and I think it's a mini album of some sorts. But pay attention to the Quality Crafts group, because that's where all of the communication will be happening. If you're so inclined, please join us on Patreon, and that gets you into a private group where we do a whole bunch of other different really cool stuff. An exclusive video every week doing the sketch of the week, and then I do pop-ins when I can. Probably not so frequently now that it's not summer. Who knows? I might get a bug to do that. And all kinds of stuff, great stuff happening there, so you can check that out. The blog we already mentioned, and then the store, qualitycrafts.com. Qualitycrafts.com, but then you have to go up to the right-hand upper corner and click store, and then give it a second to what do you call it, populate, because then it comes up and it kind of goes real slowly, and you see all these categories pop up. And then underneath there are all my Amazon links. So if you're looking for things that I was talking about or using and they're not in my store, They're linked through Amazon because for me, it's easier for me to tell you, hey, there's a cheap price on this on Amazon, and here's a link how to get into it, and then I affiliate, so I get a little bit of a commission if you purchase through there, and it's a win-win. You're helping out the channel, but you're getting exactly the tool or the supply that you need, and I don't have to carry all that in my store and worry about inventory. So that's why I do it that way. It helps me out and it helps you out. And I can't wait to see you guys on all those different things that I mentioned. It's going to be super, super fun. Yes, the mini album, it's coming up. Alrighty then, I don't see any questions in the last few little things, so I do hope that you guys will make this. Meet me over at Quality Crafts after this or over at the blog, and I can't wait to see you guys next video.